It will just say which are the last one it will do. Okay, that is called a reverse. Now let me ask you this question. Okay, I have only integers, so it is reversing properly. Will it also work if I have a heterogeneous data structure? Look at my list 1, say 1, 2.0, Sachin. Okay, now I'm doing my list 1 dot reverse, and I'm putting my list 1 now. So it has just to put Sachin 2.01. What does it mean? Guys, remember this is an important concept. Whenever Python reverses a list, it is not going to do any kind of comparative operations. It is not going to do. It is going to look at, hey, what is the last element? Sachin, put it first. What is the last but one? 2.0, put it next. What is the next one? It is like 1, put it at the third one. Done. It is not going to do any operations as such. Just an FI. Okay. Why? This point is needed when you learn the sort. Okay. Now, I'm going to have a my list equal to say -5, 100, 2, 0, and then -3, 200. Now I'm going to put sort. Okay, so my list dot sort. Now if I put my list, it says -5, -3, 0, 2. So it has put it into a ascending order. Good. Now the help of my list dot sort. So yeah, this is like in place because like there are elements, and then what is this key? This key will take a function. Whenever I teach a function, guys, please remind me. I will explain you this. This key will take a function name. The third is a flag. That flag is a reverse flag. If it by default it will be a false, which means that it will be ascending order. Whereas instead, if I say that a reverse equal to true. Okay, so guys, remember that whenever you pass an argument, you should not give a space before and after equal to. You should not give a space. Whenever you define something like this, you should always give a space before and after the equal to. Remember this. This is one of the paid standards. So now, if I do reverse equal to true, then it will be put it into a descending order. So you have a list. You want to sort it based on the ascending order. Do it without the reverse argument. Or reverse should be false. You want to do it in a descending order. Reverse should be set to true. Okay, good. Now, what is my list? What is my list 1? Is Sachin 2.01. Okay, I earlier tried to do reversing, it worked. Now I'm trying to do sorting. My list 1, which has a string, float, integer. I want to sort it. Now it says, hey, wait. This is not supported. Why? The sort operation internally uses comparison operator to order in an ascending way or a descending order. So that's the reason it says a less than, which is a comparison operator, is not supported between Sachin and 2.0. So when you have a mix-up of data types, like a string, numbers and all, you cannot sort it. Guys, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Why can't you sort it? Because the internals of Python algorithm uses less than equal. See, there are a lot of ways in which you do sorting, bubble sorting, priority sorting, so many heap sorting, so many things are there. But all these guys depend on some mathematical operations, preferably comparison operator, greater than or less than. You can do greater than or less than only when these entities are same. Here it is string, here is a float. You cannot compare. So this kind of sorting will fail. You can have only integers, work. Only numbers, work. You can have a combination of a float to integer, that will also work. But when you have a mix-up, it won't work. What about when you have only names? Will it work? What about when you have only names?
It should work, I think so, because you said key value.
Minus 2 equal to Sachin, Dravid, and then say Ganguly. You put my list 2 dot sort. Then now you put my list 2. It would have got sorted based on the first letter, right? D comes first, then G, then S. I can even say reverse equal to true. Equal to true. Then now you print my list to, it will be on the opposite direction. Okay. Yeah. So when you have only strings, it will work. When you have only integers numbers, it will work. But when you have a mix-up, the sorting will not work. Okay. What is this key? Key will take a function that whenever I teach a function, you guys should let me know. There is one interesting interview question that people always ask. Okay. So assume that names equal to, okay, it's a list. You have Sachin Tendulkar, you have Rahul Dravid, and you have Saurav Ganguly. Now if you put names dot sort, it will work, right? Rahul Dravid RSS, okay, fine. But I want you to sort based on the surname. This is an interview question. How will you sort based on the surname? For that only, the key will be super useful. I will explain you whenever I teach a function. Okay. So guys, I am done with the list. Any doubts or any questions?
Sir, if you can ask me there.
Yes.
Sir, if you have a complex numbers, all are complex numbers. So
Okay.
sort will work. 3 plus 4.
Okay, that's a basic question. In mathematics, will it work? Can you sort?
Yeah, it works, sir. But in what basis it will work, sir?
In mathematics.
In normal mathematics, it will work. My question is whether it will work for the complex numbers.
No, sir. I'm asking you when you have say 3 plus 4j. Okay. 3 plus 4j, 2 plus 5j, 1 plus 7j. These are all complex number.
Yeah.
If you sort, what would be the outcome of this? Forget about Python. Manually in mathematics, if you sort, what would be the output?
Based on the first values.
Are you sure? Are you sure, or you're just guessing?
I'm just guessing. Sure.
Why? That's why I asked. So let's say my complex equal to say 1 plus 5 plus 2j. Okay. 1 plus 10j. 2 plus 3j. Okay.
Okay.
So I should not put a single quote, then it will become string. I should not be putting that. Okay. So put my complex dot sort. What do you see?
Okay.
Why? Because mathematically you cannot compare this guy versus this guy. This less than or greater than operation is not supported. That's why I asked, hey, will you be able to sort in the real world scenario? In mathematics, can you sort? No, you cannot sort. That's the answer. Is it fine?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any other doubts? Any other doubts or any other question? So let me quickly scan through who and all are attending my call. Make it fast, guys. Any doubts, any questions? Good. So guys, whenever you learn a data structure, first you should know the basics about that overview. 1, 2 answers for those 6 questions. 3, all the supported methods. 4th is what really important. What is the 4th thing that I taught yesterday? Real business use case. Where will you use this list? You have 100 numbers. Will you use a list or some other data structure? How will you take a decision? So what is the real business use case of a list? The answer is that, hey, I put a DER of my list and then I see all the required like methods for your manipulation. I can delete it. How will you delete a list, guys? It is very easy. Always you should say del of my list. Okay, this will delete it. And after that, if you give a try, it will say that, hey, there is no such name, no such key. So it's called name error. So guys, you can add, you can delete, you can append, you can extend, you can clear, you can pop, you can remove, you can reverse, you can sort, you can insert, you can index, you can slice also. What is the length? How will you find out the length of a list? How will you find out the length of the list? If this is what, then you should say len of my list. So what does that mean? You have a data set. In that data set, you want to frequently manipulate something. You will be actively doing something with the data set. You will add, you will delete, you will modify, you will append, clear. You have a data set. It is going to be a very active data set. Then store the data set as a list, because list is giving you a lot of provisions to play around. So what is the real business use case of a list? Look at the data set, look at the requirement. If that requirements demands you to frequently manipulate, calculate, compute, or play around on the list elements, on the data set elements, store it as a list, because list will give you a lot of provisions to play around. Is that clear? Always remember that whenever a data structure gives you more and more provisions or facilities to play around, obviously the execution speed will be relatively lesser. Because the moment you create a list, the system should remember so many things. What is the first element, last element, length, and where am I storing it? What is the memory address? So many metadata should be stored. Then only it can easily work, right? So which means that it will have, which from human eyes we will not be able to see that, but there will be a probably at 10 to the power of minus a 9 level of impact on the execution time. So list gives you lot of tools, lot of methods to play around, which is an advantage. Disadvantage, maybe we cannot concretely say, maybe the performance may be at a slight hit. Okay, guys, I'm done with the list. Now I'm moving.
So I have one question.
Yeah, your name and then the question.
Shantala.
Yes.
I didn't attend the first initial classes, so I have this question. So what are the first initial, some methods are there, right, with the underscore? What is the use of it?
Okay. So DIR output will have two types of output. Okay. One is like with underscore. The other one is without underscore. Okay. Now the entire team is aware of the answer. Guys, the ones with underscore is called as what?
Magic or dunder.
With underscore, okay, is called as magic methods or dunder methods. Okay. Why do we say dunder, Shantala? It is the short form of double underscore. Okay. Because they have two underscores, right? Good. What is the real use case of it? They will be used during the systemic operation. Simple example is like you put x equal to 100. When you say x plus 300, you are getting 400. Plus is something that Shantala is aware of it because she is a human being, but computer is not aware. When you give plus, the Python interpreter will change it to x dot. Do you see something called underscore underscore add? So system will replace it x dot underscore underscore add underscore underscore and then 200. So I mean 300, whatever it is. So when you give plus, system will change it to underscore underscore add. So for every operator, there will be a corresponding magic method. Can you tell me MUL is a magic method of which operator? Shantala? Multiplication. And then
init.
So GT stands for what?
Is it greater?
Greater than. Okay. And NE is like not equal to. LT stands for less than equal to. Okay. And then G stands for greater than or equal to. EQ stands for equal to. So likewise, for each operators, there will be a corresponding magic methods. That is where they have defined the operation. Good. Now, how is it? Because it will be used for systemic operation. But if you want to call it explicitly, you can call it explicitly. X dot underscore underscore add. You can definitely call. What is